Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to another episode of the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show. I am Ross Skorzewski, your host, once again joined by an amazing man, the one and only hormone whisperer, also known as Dr. Patrick Flynn. Actually, it should be the other way around.
I was going to say.
Patrick Flynn, also known as the hormone whisperer. We are excited once again to be able to spend another 30 minutes with you on this beautiful Tuesday. We hope it's a beautiful world wherever you are today, and thank you again for joining us. We say hi to all of you, which we will talk to you in just a moment. Continue to like and share. We're going to be continuing to do some giveaways. Do us a favor right now.
Yes.
Start to share this. Share and invite friends to come and be a part of this show. We always say it, this show is going to be amazing. Every show is amazing because you're always giving out great information. So Doc, talk to me. We had a beautiful morning already here at the corporate office, training like crazy.
Yep.
And you were jacked.
I'm always jacked.
Always jacked.
Well, it's funny because people sometimes say, well, Doc, you have a lot of energy. Well, I want to cover this today. It's kind of funny you started off. Understand, the fallacy of procrastination does not exist. Let me say that again. There's not one of you out there that are procrastinators. You've just set your life up to do most of the things you don't want to do. People are like, it's easy to be energetic about stuff you want to do all day. Sure. Here, do me a favor. Anybody that's watching right now, think about something you absolutely love to do. Okay, you don't procrastinate on it. You're actually proactive for it. Absolutely. See, so therefore, if you're procrastinating, you, not your spouse, not your boss, not your grandmother, not your mom, not your dad's fault that way. You set your life up the way you want it to be, and therefore you're stuck doing what you don't want to do, and then you hate your life. Enjoy. You'd set it up that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to be energetic, because why?
Well,
we're doing what we want all day long.
And you spent an amazing amount of time with us as your staff. You even had your Zoom training.
Yep.
For those of you who know, every Tuesday morning, whether Dr. Patrick or either one of the other doctors within the office connects, and they train every Tuesday, whether on clinical or also personal development and growth, which we've told you this show is about many things. It is about healthcare. It is about personal development, and it's also about business. And today has been...
Which they're all the same thing.
Correct, because they influence each other on so many levels.
Yep.
And today has been an absolute jam-packed morning of intentional training, which is obviously now going to set up the ability for you, the listeners, who give us these questions, to be able to answer them with authority, with conviction, with intentionality, because they train. And Doc, for 18 plus years, you even said it in the training a little bit earlier. You were the student in college who would raise your hand to disagree.
Yep. And I guarantee there's colleagues watching this right now. Well, what happened when people, if you ever want to drive somebody nuts, guys, all you have to do is say, I disagree. And people that are not confident in themselves will argue with you.
Yes.
The only reason why people ever argue with you is because they want you to change your mind.
That's exactly.
Do you see? I don't argue with you because I just say you're a moron, and then what happens is I'm confident what I say, so I'm not going to argue with you.
Yes.
Do you see it?
Yeah, but the whole premise of this show, the reason why I even just said those things, and we went where it just was, because this show is about educating you, the audience, sharing this information.
Yep.
Because we know that you have questions, but now you have individuals that want to challenge the way you think and give you the information. Now it's up to you what you do with it.
Yep.
So it's kind of like it's up to us. We either grow or we go.
Yep.
So once again, let's just take a quick moment here. We've got some people.
A lot of people online
already. Dr. Sean Ellingworth from our Bloomington, Minnesota office. We say hello to you. For those of you who are watching us, check those offices out. That's Dr. Jay Wonkin, who's over in Cottage Grove.
Jay.
And
no, wait. There's somebody, Carla Ellingworth. Is that relation to Doc in Minnesota? To Dr. Sean?
I hope he gives us information and says yes, because we could say it's a sister. We could say,
Carla, are you his sister?
Sister?
Must be a sister or something like that.
Possibly could be. It's not the wife.
No.
See, well, that's what I'm saying. We got to make sure.
That's Dree is the wife. Yep. All right. Amanda's on there. Amanda Zuliger.
Patrick from Ovid,
Iowa.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. There we go.
That's an awkward name, Ovid.
Ovid. Sounds like an ovary thing.
I was going to go there. I mean, this also does discuss clinical things, and those are, we'll just leave it at that. So we also say hi to Amanda Zuliger.
She's awesome.
Absolutely. Stacy Wiley.
Dr. Stacy.
How you doing? Hey, it's my mom. Hi.
Vicky.
good to see you.
Good afternoon, Vicky.
Absolutely.
So do me a favor, though.
What's that?
Like and share it. Not you, you already have it, okay? No, but it's kind of cool. Like I said, we're going to hit some awesome information. I have no idea what the question is, but
really
I know I don't.
It really doesn't.
I don't. It's a setup that way. So, for example, they can get my reactions because for 18, 19 years now, I have to answer questions consistently. I've debated people on stages. I speak all over the country that way. So the cool thing is this, is I love when the questions are not prepared because then we kind of know them. So I've kind of stayed away from looking at them because, once again, you get my first initial reaction, everything that way.
Yes. So what I'm going to do, Doc, is I'm going to set this up for you because I'm going to drive a seat.
Nice.
And I'm going to take us on a wonderful little journey here. We get a lot of questions, and I'm going to put this out there because this question has also been a question that was mine until I trained myself, until I was educated and got the truth and actually allowed it to become a part of the way that I live. There's always the question, the offices, you started an inflammation talk and you talk about inflammation all the time. So with that, I set it up.
Okay.
It says this, hey Doc, you talk about inflammation a lot. From what I can see, and I've heard about your inflammation talks, what exactly is inflammation and how does it affect the body? It seems like it's kind of a big deal, but no one else really talks about it. Who has to worry about inflammation?
Every person on the planet.
All right, moving on to the next one. No, I was kidding, because I think you mentioned inflammation to me. If I smash my thumb and it grows, that makes sense.
Let's take the simplest format of it that way, okay? Let's start with a big picture and we'll break it down minutely. If you look at the one thing that all doctors do agree upon, there's only really one thing, it really is that when you look at all of our chronic conditions today, they actually start with some form of inflammation. That's why if you look, most of our medications are anti-inflammatories.
Sure.
They were there, are in nature that way. Now, if inflammation stays there a significant amount of time, it will result in some process that they call disease. Okay, I don't call it disease, I call it adaptation. Okay, but the idea is this: so it adapts to that inflammation a long period of time, and your body has to survive. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, inflammation can result in some quote negative consequences that way. Now, but let's go here simply. Okay, for all you Packer fans, all right? So, because I'm not a Packer fan.
Neither am I.
And some of that.
But we are from Green Bay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Darren, I wish the Packers win every Super Bowl, but I'm still not a fan. Okay?
What?
I'm just a local person.
You just said you wish the Packers would win every Super Bowl?
I wish the Brewers win every game, and I wish the Bucks win every game, but I don't care about them.
Your best friend is a Vikings fan.
I know.
He at least deserved
that was because of all the medication he took when he was younger. Okay, messed up his brain. Okay,
I was dealing with a lot of inflammation.
That's right. So what happens is, coming back to that, is if a Packer player, and this is something I've dealt with, clinically. Okay, a Packer player, for example, twists their ankle. Break it down. What really happens? There is some structural damage. It could be ligamentous. It could be muscular. There could be some nerve damage. There could be some vascular damage. And how a body has to respond for a repair process is multiple ways. There has to be a blood change, a lymphatic change, a neurological change. Okay, and that's why symptoms and pain come about that way. It's the body's natural response to any damage to the body. See, that's why when inflammation is damaging, it's not because it's damaging your body, it's actually a repair process. But the one thing is this: because modern medicine, aka even most trainers in Packerization, they don't know how to fix it. Okay. Yes, I've had these battles with that organization before. Okay. And the fact that they'll tell them, ice it. Well, it's really funny. The person who created the whole the RICE concept, rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Look, my one about, we talk about icing it.
What was that again? The RICE?
RICE, the acronym in RICE. Okay. Rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Actually retracted his aspect about what it really does. And they find out that if you do reduce inflammation immediately
on the onset,
you cause damage. Because you cause all the body's innate changes, what the body's meant to do, to change it vascular, to change it neurologically, change it lymphatically, change the immune system that way, you actually cause damage. So as they're telling these Packer players and everything, they twist their ankle, they go into massive amount of medical therapy and ice and rest and compress and elevate that way. What they're really doing, they're causing damage. And I would tell them one thing, their trainers would tell them the other thing that way, and they'd say, I have no idea what I'm talking about. No, they're clueless. It's why, for example, why there's so much repetitive injury in sports. Because they're more care about those football players getting back on the field than they do about their health. They don't give a crap about them. Trust me, I get to speak to them. They're injecting those people with such massive anti-inflammatories. They give them drugs like it's candy.
Sure.
Do you say it's not like it's? And then, but then they freak out because they go to marijuana, the safest thing those players can do. Isn't that funny? The NFL gives them every drug impossible, but suspends them if they do marijuana.
Well, you better put a little disclaimer on there, Doc, because people are out there now going to say, well, Dr. Patrick Flynn said that he is pro-marijuana.
I'm hugely pro-marijuana.
But not
smoking.
All right, just make
But even that,
I know.
smoking's still better than injecting it. Actually, smoking's actually better than putting ice on it. And I'm against smoking, okay? But I'm against rice. You know what I'm saying?
I like rice.
Yeah,
Makes for good
not rice, sushi. Rice. Rest like rest no way. Okay? No, but it's true.
Yeah.
So what they do, for example, is that's the whole thing about inflammation. The body's natural response. See, the key to finding a good doc is understanding that if there's an inflammatory response, how long has it been there? Yep. How long has it been there first? Okay, why? Because if it's chronic, now it turns from a regeneration process to a degeneration process because your body is always going to mount an attack against damage.
Sure.
The bad part is it's going to cause more damage. That's what leads to what leads to diseases and chronic illness today. Yeah. See, so it's a doc that doesn't respond to inflammation. It's a doc that finds out where it's coming from, okay? Now, a lot of people say, Doc, but I'm in intense pain. Can I take an anti-inflammatory? I don't care. Because why? Because if you take it or not, does not ever find out what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to understand, if you come from the standpoint this. See, if you're going to think about this, medicine goes this. They twist my ankle, the body made a mistake, and I'm going to change it because this is what I believe as a smart doctor. No, the smart doctor has a PhD in flat earth. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's like you're telling, because everything, do you understand that almost everything medicine has proved has now been disproven over the last 40, 50 years? Rice, rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Maybe that isn't that good. Eggs, they're bad for you. Oh, maybe they are good. Milk, it's good for you. No, it doesn't. Okay, you know, it's really funny. And so what they do, for example, and they speak with such authority, and this is this way, and they call anybody that challenges the mindset of their thinking as a quack or a disruptor or a conspiracy theorist. Really? Okay, guess what? I trust the body more than I trust any doctor on the planet. If my finger swells up because I smashed it, it knows what it's doing. Yes. Do you understand the simplicity of this? If you understand that a person cuts their finger, I want you to think about this. Millions of cells are put right back in that cut. There's not one doctor that can do that. That's freaky. That should show you an incredible appreciation.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. That should show you a massive appreciation of what's going on. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Here's what you want to do is you look at, for example, what the body can handle that way. So any people say, well, Doc, wait, inflammation has gone so far. Yeah, that's where medicine has succeeded. Medicine has succeeded in one thing. Guess what? Keep us alive a little bit longer.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
If you break your arm, if you do it, our church goes to mission trips. You know that?
Yep.
Do you know some of those people where you go on a mission trip and it's been well documented that if they break their arm, the hospital is far enough away that they could die before they get there from a broken arm. See, so medicine has done a great job of creating some emergency processes that way, so we live longer. Thank God, that's it.
Which really then awesomely sets the stage for the whole thing about this inflammation talk that she's heard about, because you share this principle, and it's up to you whether you choose to go, but you have this fireman carpenter principle that really paints an amazing picture. That's why it's crucial that you can go to the website, go to twwclinics.com, look for all the offices that we have across the United States. They host this talk twice a month, and you need to go there. But the fireman carpenter principle really does paint the picture of what you just talked about.
Well, it sets the stage of how I view healthcare. And see, that's the big thing. If you just understand that, for example, that each doctors have a role. See, I pick on them a lot because of the stupidity that they do all the time. And the stupid things your doctors say to you. Do you understand? Honestly, do this. If your doctor tells you something, ask them, where do you read that? Can I have a copy? You're going to find out that most people actually have what? Doctors' opinions.
Sure.
Do you see them? And it's really funny. And they give a lot of opinions, and it's really kind of quite funny. That's why when I did the whole thing about rice, I pulled out the article of the person that created their acronym in rice and said, well, maybe it wasn't as smart as we thought. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the whole idea of the fire department carpenter principle is say, listen, medicine, they act like the fire department. Guess what? They stop your house from burning down and crumbling.
They are needed.
And they are needed if you have a fire.
Yes.
If your house is going to burn down. But there's not one firefighter that has the tools and education to rebuild your house. That's like saying you can build your house with an axe and a hose. Makes no sense. You need a different professional. That's what I've always come from. I never said I do medicine. I never said I replace it. But guess what? They also don't replace us.
Correct.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And the worst part is when somebody stands outside your house and sprays your house down every day with water. It rots.
Yes.
Most of you guys are rotten on the inside. How do I know? Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, infertility, every disease on the planet goes up every year. Who says so? All the health statistics. So that's why you can get emotional about what I say. People get freaking just nasty as a bunch of cats getting stuck in a burlap sack together. They're like just tearing them.
See that happen.
I know. You put a couple female cats in a burlap sack, and they're gonna fight like crazy. And they get so emotional.
Yeah.
They get so emotional as they're sick as a dog. It's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
So really, this whole email, it really does set up something that really sets the premise for everything that you do here, because it always comes back to the model. We don't guess, we test.
Yeah.
Inflammation. Who has to worry about it? We all do.
Well, gotta remember, there's so many things that we can't control. No joke. Guys, this is not a joke. We've been poisoned so much that, for example, is a very big inflammatory trigger. You think I'm joking? Do me a favor. If you live in Green Bay, go drink out of the Fox River.
Yes. They even tell you not to eat the fish that you catch inside of the Fox River.
Right. Do you understand that the paper mills here had a fight because they poisoned our rivers? Yes, they did. And they get away with this crap. I'm not joking. We should bring back some public executions of these people. Do you understand? It's like, I'm sorry, but it's stupidity. Now, guys, as you know, I'm kidding on that. But my point is this. There's no accountability. You understand? They come back, and then they're fighting over who's going to pay for it.
Right. And how they're going to clean it and address the issue.
Oh, and then they lie to the cleanup crew that unless you eat it directly on a regular basis, it won't make you sick. We've literally had people come into our office that their bones are crumbling, and these are kids in their 20s and 30s because they've been exposed to that crap. And they told them, you signed a waiver. I mean, come on now. This is the stupidity of what happens there. So I said, go drink out of the Fox River for a week for me. Do you say, go do it. Honestly, have fun with it. See how well your body does that way.
Quench your thirst, but
you'll be toxic as can be.
Right.
Do you understand? It's like our air, our foods, everything that way. That's why it's kind of hilarious. What do you think happened over Thanksgiving? A ton of toxicity, a ton of stress, a ton of things like that. Guys, it's not good. See, but people come to us all the time from all over the world going, no joke, this has nothing to do with my email right here, okay? Look at, just recently, another woman from, where is she from? New Jersey, or Virginia, okay? I came across your stuff about infertility, okay? I can't have a child. Guys, this is why the frustration comes from doctors like us. Not for the fact to actually tell what somebody else is doing wrong. It's what's not happening right in our society. Women from Virginia should not have to email me begging for help to have a baby.
Well, thank God you're there.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
I understand. Yeah.
That's wrong. There should be a healthcare process. Don't worry, we'll get out there eventually. But there should be a healthcare process where these people can get help. It's once again, it's why they're, for example, being able to be strong enough to be very confident in the principles that we put across that way. Yes. So it's somebody like, it's kind of funny, if somebody's critical of us, that happens all the time, we don't care. Right. That's why training is so important. That's why people say, Doc, why are you so going to be the personal growth? Because here's what happens. People that don't grow, the minute somebody says something bad about them, they lose it. Their whole life. Most people will not stand up and say something because they don't have the confidence to. The reason why you don't have the confidence to, because you've never been trained to, or you're worried about what your mother's going to say, or what your dad's going to say, you're going to worry about your sister or brother or best friend. Who cares? Do you understand? Yep. That's the thing. Because you know something? I don't care, because guess what? This young lady who, for example, is in her 30s, as I look at her email, I won't show you the name, but guess what happens? You know, the ridiculousness that she has to email us. I mean, come on. That's our doctor's frustrations. Can you imagine what this woman had to go through before she emailed me?
Yeah,
she didn't email me first. She went through all of the other doctors and drugs and all stuff like that. How do I know? It's in her email. See, that's the part.
You became a last resort.
I became a last resort. Sad.
Which, honestly, though, we've talked, and I know we've talked with the other doctors and part of the Wellness Way, that's what you see a lot. People really do come here as a last resort. Yep. And that's why we're trying to challenge the way you think. That's why we're answering these questions. Yep. That's why we're saying, inflammation, it's a big stinking deal. And if you're asking the question, once again, what are you going to do with the information that is given? Our call to action is not to sell you anything, but to give you the right information. go to that talk.
Yep.
You will benefit from it.
Well, the great thing is this. Here's the wonderful thing I like, okay? If you go to Inflammation Talk and don't like it, don't do anything. If you don't like this show, don't watch it.
Yeah.
If you don't like our website, don't go to it. Do you understand? We're not like Democrats where we're going to force government down your throat to do something. It's not a joke. Government, you know what's really funny? I want to say this. Read Obamacare once, okay? It's not a joke, okay? And for all you guys that are going to comment on this, healthcare is not a right, okay? You want to talk about right? Do you ever read Obamacare? Do you understand there's clauses in there that if you don't listen to your doctor, they can drop you from your coverage? There's not freedom in that. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's paid for. It's not paid for. It's stolen from.
Correct.
You know, it's really funny. We talk about healthcare and stuff like that. We have no right of other people's private property. You don't own me as a doctor. I have friends that are medical doctors. You don't own them. It's not a right. You're not slaves, okay? That's the one thing, for example, people, the stupidity. And most people, here, you want me to tick off more women today? I'm going to train more. I didn't see Nancy. You see Nancy? Nancy's like, don't. My training from 8 o'clock this morning all the way till right now has been butt kicking.
Wants to be, I disagree.
And the people that are going to comment the most on the thing about healthcare not being a right are single moms. You know why? Because they get Medicaid to pay for their kids' healthcare. And if I say it's not a right, they're going to think that they have to pay for it. They're wrong. Their dad should be paying for it too and be a real man and be responsible. But single moms are the biggest thing to comment on this way because they're dependent on the system.
That's right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Sorry.
Any hate mail, send to Nancy Gruzzi.
Yeah, send Nancy Gruzzi. But it's true.
No, I'm totally kidding.
You know, and people say, Doc,
true.
how can you say something so horrible? Really? Do you ever want to see the emails? Guys, this is not a joke. You know, when you offend somebody, what they do is they have no problem sending you a letter, but they'll never come to you face to face. Do you understand? It's like you can sit behind your computer in your underwear and sit there and type something that way. Yeah, you're really strong. I have no problem getting in front of somebody's face and talking about it that way. Because here's what happens. If we don't come to those realities that way, what happens? We're in the same situation. You think you're going to depend on government to make you healthy? Yes. And therefore you're gonna fight because, once again, because you're single and you need government to pay for it that way? Do you understand? What does government pay for? Bad services. Honestly. You want more vaccines, more drugs, more surgeries, but therefore it's not paid for. Squirrel, what do we get off on?
I don't know. I'm just loving it because
I ranted today.
Well, let's do this. No, it's a healthy rant because I really think, as I was at a place, you know, everybody around here, we do inflammation.
Yep.
But how important is it? I've come to know that it is super important, but there's a lot to say about it. But that's why people need to get in front of the right people that are going to give them the right information in regards to inflammation.
Right. Yeah. Well, remember, if you look at it this way, most doctors immediately, if you have any inflammation, they have anti-inflammatories for you.
Yeah, well, that's why I liked your Fox River analogy, because you can't just dredge the Fox River and fix the issue.
Nope.
But it could deal with what is locally right there at that point in regards to inflammation. You got to go upstream and get to where the problem is.
Right.
And that's the whole reason for the we don't guess,
we test
model.
Yep.
And this is, I mean, to some people, once again, it's just going to be a wonderful conversation that we're having where they do nothing with it.
Well, and remember, let's go back to this. I did a video, was it about 2-3 weeks ago, Nancy? Just on inflammation alone. Remember, let's go to this, guys. I'm going to make it very clear. I'm going to repeat this every week until it gets through people's heads. Is the Wellness Way is actually an informational site. The Wellness Way shows, my Dr. Patrick Flynn show, everything is about information. You're never going to see that we're going to sell you something on anything we do. I'm against that, actually. And it happens. I want people to have massive information. If you don't like what I had to say today, guess what? You can comment. I'll delete it, okay? But you can comment on there. I'm going to delete it. I'll probably delete you from my page because I don't care, okay? Because I don't care how many followers I have. But what I do care is one day that information is going to resonate in their head when they're sick of the BS. The woman that I just pulled up recently, because just before I ran to the bathroom, came back, sat down, read that email, and my heart broke. Do you understand? I'm actually frustrated after 19 years of my heart breaking for these beautiful women and husbands that are going through this. Just the emotion that pours through it that way, okay? Unless we get people staying up for what's right and what to do with it, we're in trouble.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? So my 2 cents not that way, but it's my show.
Which is more like $5.
I give you more than you ask. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. Anyways, Wait, we're already, holy crap, it's already 24 minutes in. We got to give some stuff away. We got to skip the second question.
Right,
or how can we?
I don't know. I mean, I'm at a loss here. I was just following.
Well, let's do this, guys. I love, like I said, I love giving stuff away.
All right, Nancy.
Whatever people selling me, I'm going to give stuff away. So what should we give away today? But here's what happens. What I want you to do, if you want to give away, please, once again, anybody who makes a comment, for example, that doesn't disagree with me, we're going to put you in a bucket. Nancy's going to write some things down, and we're going to pull at least a name. What should we give away today, though?
You always put me on the spot like this.
Well, you're the host.
Details. I know. I mean, we can give away. How about people see these mugs all the time?
Yes.
Let's give some mugs away, okay?
Well, let's do this. Let's give some mugs away today.
We give.
Absolutely. You want to do t-shirt? What do I do?
Just give it to. I'm not saying me, by the way. Nancy's thinking that I'm doing this to say.
We're giving Ross away.
I said I want an auction because I know we're going to get some really strong bids on that. Giving it away does not place value on me.
Yes, exactly. So let's do this, okay? So we're going to give some. First of all, as Nancy's writing some name down there, well, my mom said hi too.
Yes, she did. Jennifer
Fullerton Wilkerson. Hello, young lady. Nice to see you. A friend of mine from high school that way. She's actually a great mom. She's actually a girl. She does a lot of great things health-wise that way. Dr. Gree. Samson. Stephanie, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Doc, and stuff like that. So, Dr. Don, nice to see you guys.
I love the Celeste Patrick. Love the honesty.
Well,
I love it, and that's what you've been unashamedly saying that you will always bring to the table.
Yes,
is your honest perspective.
Yes.
And
now, and let's even comment on this. Dr. Cynthia Sheik, she put it perfectly. Doc is an amazing, not only person, but amazing mom, and she won't let government dictate anything to her. And she has a daughter. And she's like, she takes care of her the way she has to be taken care of. And trust me, it's not easy. Never once did I say it was easy. Make sure that. Now, that does not do with Dr. Cynthia, but never once did I say that it would be easy. But you know what's very difficult? A sick child. And you need to take that responsibility and find those things for you. Don't depend on the government to do it that way.
That's right. As we continue, if you really want, we have a great book here. Speaking on the topic of inflammation,
yes.
Put your name in, like and share. This is the non-inflammatory diet book, step-by-step guide with 30-day meal plans and recipes. Okay?
Yes.
We would love to give that away. So somebody who comments in, that would be wonderful. We will make sure that gets.
Nancy's putting all names in. We still have 3 minutes. So, yeah. Well,
I think it's a great show, and I love, to be honest with you, I love the fact that you had no idea what the question was.
Nope. So let's do this, guys. So what I want you guys to do is this. Remember, put somebody's name in there, take them that way. Oh, Vicky Lewis said, why don't we give away some aloe juice? Better yet, Vicky, here's what happens. I will send you a bottle of aloe juice.
It's a great recommendation.
Yep, I will send you a bottle of aloe juice that way.
Absolutely. If you guys do have questions, though, obviously we are going to address them. Send them to Ask Dr. Patrick at twwclinics.com.
I personally, guys, when you see your comments on there and somebody responds back, I do 99% of it. Nicole Selesky, okay, one of our other practitioners who's absolutely amazing, she will usually respond the other part that way, especially, for example, because she deals with a lot of my fertility, like the woman that emailed me. I responded to the woman that did, and then now Nicole will follow up with her on that one that way. So,
Any names?
Well, but yeah, here's what happens. As she's doing that, I'm going to give away a couple things just because I want to.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Because Carla said, love to have a book. Carla, Nancy, write down. Send Carla a book. Carla, send us your address that way. I'm going to give you a book.
Ellington.
Okay. Love Amanda. She's awesome.
And
Richard, great show. Thank you for watching, Richard. Yep. Sherry, great info. Thank you so much that way. Amy, thank you for saying that. Trisha, you get a book, honey. You get a book. Okay. Guys, remember, I've known Trisha for a long time. She is a sweetheart. I'm going to give her a book. Okay. Trust me. Celeste Patrick, we have to give her some too. Amanda, when you come in, remind me to give you a new T-shirt, okay? Like Ashley Balza. Ashley's on here. Ashley's always on here. Ashley shares everything I have. Ashley came in and said, Ashley, pick any shirt you want.
Yes.
Why? I want to give you guys stuff. Trust me, I'm doing good financially. I'll be okay.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So I tell people that for the purpose of this, is I don't have to sell you anything. I'm doing good. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm doing good because people are so sick. Isn't that stupid?
Once again, another sad statement to make, but it's
sad.
So very
but
true.
I'm saying that to get people's mindset this way, is going, make the changes so you don't need a wellness way.
Make that change.
Okay?
It's a beautiful.
Okay, we're going to probably go a couple minutes over that way,
right.
but we're going to actually, I want people to get drawn for their names that way. Oh, look at Annie. She's like, giveaway CBD oil. Next week. Next week. We will, look at even Nancy, right? I will give a bottle of CBD away. That's $100.
The whole staff now is going to be out here.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're going to be actually watching next week.
Next week, guys. Now remember, let's do this. The person next week who tags the most friend, and it's got to be tagged on there. It's got to be highlighted on there. For example, we will put, once again, your name in there repeatedly and do it that way. So
That's
what else? Okay, let's pull some names. Guys, we're going to run a couple minutes over today just because we want to give stuff away today and stuff like that. So here we go. Hello, Sherry Middleton. Hello from Mount Vernon, Missouri. Okay.
Right
oh, wait.
on.
Hello, Kathy. It's nice to see Kathy from Hawaii and stuff like that.
What are we giving away here? We're going to give away a mug?
We're going to give away 2 mugs and a book.
All right, 2 mugs.
And we already gave aloe away, and we already gave another book away and stuff like that. So I said, Trisha, make sure to send your, I know we have your address, but make sure to do it because Nancy goes on my thing and sends it out that way. Who we got?
All right, here we go for 1 mug. Sandy Fisher.
Sandy.
Awesome.
It's kind of cool. I say this. Yeah, I know Brandon's back here. Sandy actually raised an absolutely amazing daughter and stuff like that. And she's in chiropractic school right now. And it's kind of cool because I've been mentoring her now for years. She is an awesome young lady. She's going to be an amazing doc. Her name is Abby and stuff like that. So Sandy, I'm happy you won. You're awesome.
Sweet. All right, here we go. Let's do the second mug.
Second mug.
Celeste Patrick.
Congratulations. From Ovid, Michigan, right?
Ovid,
Michigan. And last thing, a non-inflammatory. This is actually the first book I ever wrote. No joke. Just because why? The non-inflammatory diet. Okay. So what do you got? Who is it? Vicky Lewis.
Yep.
Didn't I just give her a bottle of aloe?
I don't know.
Nope.
Yes, Vicky Lewis Schmidt.
Yes. Okay, good. Well, she gets a bottle of aloe and actually a non-inflammatory book.
It's a beautiful
and stuff like that. Guys, once again, the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show is really just a wellness waste-based show that actually is going to constantly give you information. I'm constantly hoping to make every one of you guys very upset after every show to actually get you to think differently.
Yes.
I will stop making you mad when heart disease, cancer, diabetes, infertility, and every other condition starts to go on the down, not on the up.
That's exactly
Until then, the thinking has to change. And Ross?
I would say this, not only that, I would say, yeah, the thinking has to change, but the thinking has to lead to action. Part of your action has been joining us on the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show.
Yes.
And we thank you. We really do. We appreciate it. Without you, this show is just 2 bald men with great thoughts and great ideas.
Handsome bald men.
Handsome bald men. So with that, though, now take the information, let it lead to action. Don't let this be your last resort. Start challenging the way you think, and you can do that again next Tuesday, joining us at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a great rest of your week.